for another segment of the MCR. My name's TJ. Mac is to my left. Please like, share, and subscribe. We're on multiple platforms. We're on multiple social media sites. And YouTube may kick us off at some point. In this segment, over the Christmas holiday, a situation that's been developing for the last few months was the release of Trump's taxes. And it kind of irritates me that now that he is no longer president, that they would do this to a civilian. You know, I mean...
Yeah, could Congress, I'm going to ask this question because you and I are United States citizens, could Congress just out of the blue decide to take Mac and TJ and decide that our tax returns which are not public information, and make them public?
And
under what? You know what guise?
Well, they would most certainly be done to smear us as they attempted to do with him. And I say attempted. It was one of these things where Donald Trump has been investigated so many ways. I am amazed that they haven't even found the crime of jaywalking against him.
Yeah.
Because...
And if they did, we'd know about it.
Yeah. And that's what really, I think at the end of the day, I think that's what's really surprised me with Donald Trump is I can't think of anyone that's been more investigated as of recently than this guy.
Not since the days of...
They so badly want to get him. They so badly want to dig up dirty laundry through his finances.
Well, let me point out something. The difference between, let's say, the Clintons who were investigated. None of the people who investigated thus far Donald Trump have suicided themselves.
Well, you mentioned...
I don't want to use that word. But...
You mentioned the Clintons, and I was going to reference a quote from a writer. His name's Derek Hunter, and I don't know who Derek Hunter is, other than he put out on Twitter. He wrote, Trump's tax returns show his net worth declined while in office, presidency.
You know what? That is not uncommon for a president's net worth to go down because they don't have control over their...
Then he
investments.
He asks a rhetorical question. Is there a single Democrat who could say the same? Clinton, wow. Obama, Biden, Pelosi. And then he said Pelosi doubled her net worth in Congress.
Well, she's worth an estimated $146 million with a job that pays $174,000 living in a city that is ungodly expensive to live in. So,
Mark Levin, the great one, tweeted, Trump's tax returns are in truth terrific. Now let's get the Pelosi, Schumer, Biden, S-Corp, Roberts, Garland, and all the others. Basically, going to where I wanted to begin with this, Rasmussen did a poll, and the survey found that 63% approved of the Democrats getting Trump's taxes, and that irritates me. But the uptick here is the same poll also found that the majority wanted the same of the very Democrats that released his tax returns. So, it's like...
It seems that seems fair, that if I'm going to call you into question, that I should be called into question, because, again, for what purpose is being stated that we need to know what's in Donald Trump's tax returns?
And let me tell you something. An issue that we have not talked hardly anything about was that FTX digital currency scandal, and this guy's got ties to Democrats, Pelosi and company included. You know what?
Romney, I know, is mixed up in that.
I tell you what, if that's the case, and if they think they're going to smear Donald Trump, well, hey, game on.
Well, problem is they could do hearings in Congress 24 hours a day, 7 days a week until the term is up, and the mainstream media is not going to report it. And that's why alternative media channels like ours and the big guys, Dave Rubin, Dan Bongino, Mark Levin, who you quote here, those are important to keep watching, because you're not going to get the truth from mainstream media. They will It's an arm of the Democratic Party, the Communist Democrat Party, I might add, and they're going to do their bidding.
Well, I wanted to touch on some data here that the House released involving Trump's taxes, and I do believe, because when you look at some of this, it's kind of I'll use the word unbelievable, but they reference his 2015 federal return. Trump and his wife declared negative income of $31.7 million with a taxable income of $0.
Well, here's the thing: when you're a billionaire, 31 million is even chump change.
Yeah. The couple paid federal income taxes of $641,931. For a guy who's billionaire, he should have paid more of his fair share.
He pays what the tax code allows him to pay.
Yeah.
He said that many, many times. And here's the thing: there is a remedy if the government, particularly the Internal Revenue Service, or as Archie Bunker used to say, the Infernal Revenue Service, which may have been more accurate. There are methods. There are guidelines. If they think that you are breaking the law in some way, they audit you. They have audited him many times. So it tells me this is being done for a reason other than they think he broke the law. And then that makes it completely political. And do you want to live in a country where the government can target people to smear them with their tax return?
And you know what?
I don't.
I'll yield this point. We're talking about a guy who has perfected bending without breaking the law. Okay?
And he admits that.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. And I say that because in 2015, negative income. 2016, negative income. 2017, negative income. And I think he did it through properties being devalued or something, which
there is
a whole other can of
worms. And I wish I had it. I wasn't prepared to have this information. But there is a department in the government that if you or I want to pay more taxes, we can. At last I heard, this is years ago, 2 people in it, because no one is paying more taxes than they have to. So if you're going to condemn Donald Trump for not paying more than he has to, where's your check to the government? Why don't you pay more? Well, a lot of people are voting taxes on other people. No one is looking to pay more tax than they have to.
What I find interesting in the bullet points that they released of this tax report, nowhere does it say he broke the law.
Go into what I just said.
He just
why the release to the public when this could be done with a private audit by the IRS, who then could say you broke the law, you didn't break the law, and if you did break the law, well, they certainly will come after you if you break the law.
There is a counter spin to this.
Okay.
Well, we just wanted to show he's not as rich as he'd have you think he is.
And how is that relevant to anything?
Also,
we're both billionaires too, by the way. We got more money than Elon Musk.
Investigate
us now.
One of the things he kind of proudly admits when he was doing that show of his on TV,
The Apprentice. Yeah.
The Apprentice. I believe they have him on TV saying how he's made millions and lost millions.
Well, he's gone bankrupt a couple times,
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah, you lost money.
So if they're thinking they were going to embarrass him, they're just...
Well, here's the thing. We're paying these people to make laws and observe laws and uphold the Constitution, the oath they take and don't hold. Hardly any of them, I would tell you. And yet, this is what they do with their time?
Yeah, they just... And back to what I said earlier, all this does is... Boy, I can't think of anyone that's been more rectally examined, than this guy.
Well, I'll tell you a guy that comes to mind, and people outside of Michigan and outside of Metro Detroit probably don't remember this, but a guy who got investigated nonstop by the FBI, because for whatever their purpose was Coleman Young. Coleman Young, the first black mayor of Detroit. That guy got investigated every which way from Sunday. And all they found out about him is that he bought cougarans for investment after saying how terrible South Africa was. And you know what? South Africa, with its
And he
apartheid,
kept getting reelected.
it was terrible. So at worst, he seemed like a bit of a less than honest person in that regard. But you know, that's not a crime. And they never got anything on
And he
the guy.
kept getting reelected.
And he kept getting reelected. If he were
reelected.
alive, he could still be mayor if he wanted.
Yeah. So that's all I got. Just,
Okay.
I just wanted to share some of that information. You know, the smear is nonstop on this guy.
Yeah.
You know,
And if you watch,
that's the moral of this one.
here's something I'd like to do for a little bit of fun or a bit of information. If you watch to the end of this video, let us know in the comment section, because we know people only watch a certain amount and you only have so much time and so many choices. Let us know if you watch to the end.
All right, that's it for this one. See you in the next one. As always, be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me.